Microsoft. When we use Microsoft Protect, we can use SharePoint, and also we need license for it. So it's included on all the license package like E1 or E3 or E5, and now there is E7. So if I don't want to talk about the costs, but for SharePoint, it's integrated on when you want. Many organizations, when you use Teams, they use most of the time E3 or E1, and they are the price for it. So, but when you want to use for a specific subscription, it will cost €5 or something like this. And all the time, all the contract we can negotiate with Microsoft. But now we have 7, and we have more security feature integrated on E7. So now let's talk about the storage. So the storage is not free. When I talk about the license here, the license only to access to the website, to the SharePoint, or to your SharePoint document library. So that's for the storage. We have free quota for your storage, but when you exceed this limitation, you will pay extra. So, and the storage, how it's calculated for the SharePoint site. For each Microsoft 365 tenant, we have 1 terabyte free for storage for your file you store inside SharePoint site, and we will have for extra licensing user, we'll have 10 gigabyte per user. That means when you work in the company and we have 200 users licensed under E3, we'll accumulate a total of 3 terabyte storage, 1 terabyte from the tenant, and 2 terabyte from user. And it's very important, if you exceed this limitation, we'll pay 20 cents for each gigabyte. So when you use it, you need to pay. When you use SharePoint site, you need to pay license every month, and also we have the free storage, and if you exceed it, you will pay extra. It's very important to know it, because many customers ignore it. They said, okay, many customers they said, okay, I'm paying for the license. I don't understand why I need to pay for the storage. So when you exceed it, you will pay for it. And the UI, it's here. It's sample for the SharePoint site. So it's very easy with your SharePoint admin to create it. In only 5 seconds, we will have SharePoint site. I didn't develop anything, and you will here we have many. We have documents by default, and you can create as many SharePoint lists or SharePoint document library. And here the UI for the SharePoint document library. Here, for example, it's with the drag and drop. I upload all those Word documents. Also, when I click on this Word document, I can open online, and when user can use the collaboration feature, they can work at the same time the file. And when I said many user, if you don't have access to the site, we cannot work on the file. We can use the file. So here we have on SharePoint site, we have many. You can manage many permission on the site level or on SharePoint document library level. So here demo, just I will show you. What is it, SharePoint site? Let's just quickly show you. Here I have my active site. Here I have my SharePoint admin. I'll search for website. And here, so it's a sample to SharePoint site. As you can see, I'm in my tenant here. And for each organization, it will be the name of your organization.sharepoint.com, and the site and the site and the URL for your site. And here we can create many document library to store your file, and later we can map it to your agent. So, for example, when you want to build an agent for a shared department, so we can map to, you can create a share website, and we can give access to the teamwork on the shared department to upload, modify the file, and when we also we can build your agent. When the user use the agent, the data came only from this website. So let's move to my slide. Also we can store your file in OneDrive for business, for each organization, for each user. We will have 1 TB for free for each user. Just 1 second. I will use the pointer here. You can use SharePoint site. You can use OneDrive for enterprise. OneDrive for each user inside the organization has 1 TB for storage, and we can map it also to a nation. And also for the price, it's included of many packages like V3 and V5, and for each user can have 1 TB. It's OneDrive. It's like a personal OneDrive. You can store and you can map it to a region. And now it's very important. I will talk about SharePoint Embedded because it's something new, and we can create a container for your. You can create a container. You can store file your data inside those containers. You can map it to a region. So what is it, SharePoint Embedded? It's announced by Microsoft in November 2023. It was a public preview, and in May 2024 in general availability. So in a simple way, SharePoint Embedded, it's a Microsoft app, it's an Azure app. It's allow your application to create a dedicated partition inside your tenant. This partition, it's called container. It's called SharePoint Embedded container. When you work on SharePoint site, to create an entity to store your file, you need to create something. It's called SharePoint document library. But for the SharePoint Embedded, you can create a container inside your Microsoft 365 tenant. It's really powerful when you use it for your agent, and I will explain why. And we are talking only about documents, so we store only file inside those containers, and we don't have UI to access to it. To access to the container, we need to use Graph API. So you create your Azure application. It's your SharePoint application inside your tenant, and to access to the container, we need to use Graph API. Unlike SharePoint, we have a new UI to upload your file, and the container stayed inside your tenant. So, and all the containers are linked to container type. So you have a container type. It's your the identity for your SharePoint Embedded application, and for this container type, you can create as many containers, and all the content stored inside your container are available with your Microsoft 365 tenant. That means all the security features are available for your content stored inside the container. For example, also we have, for example, for when you store a file, Office document, we can use the versioning feature, and also we can share the file. We can, many users can work at the same time on the file. It's called collaboration feature, and also if you use Purview in your organization, so we can. If you have policy, we have DLP for your organization. So all those security policy are available for your content. And also for the content stored in the container, you pay as you go. Unlike for SharePoint site, you pay for license to access to it, but for SharePoint Embedded, you pay as you go. You pay for the content. We don't need license to access for it. And here the power of the container. So we have a container for your file. We don't need license to access to it. We have your application. You use your Graph API to manage the content, and you can map those containers to your agent, and everything with the security, because if the user don't have access to the container or to the content for it, to the file, when the user use the agent, those data will not show or will not show for the user. And here I have my SharePoint Admin Center, and when you want to check your container, so here on the left we have, now it's called, it's renamed SharePoint Embedded. Here we have container, and as you can see, you have container, it's container for your file. So the UI for the container, use it inside your Microsoft 365 tenant. And for each container, you can see the application name. You can create as many applications you need. And also we can apply sensitive label for your container, and also for each container we have many attributes. So here I am on the tenant level. I can see all my content. When I click on the container, I can see there is many property. Like we have container name. Here it's Bootcamp Shinaia, and also I have the storage. It's here we have the storage and the application name, because application name is your Azure application. You create Azure application and you associate it to your SharePoint Embedded. And it's very important, we need this property to use it for your agent. Keep it in mind, for the container URL, we need it to map, to use it as a knowledge for your agent. Like for SharePoint sites, you need the URL for all the SharePoint sites, but here for the container, we need it for relation. So I'll show you in demo how it's work, and also we can add permission and everything. So, and here I'll show you in different layer how everything it's work. So we are running on Microsoft Cloud, our infrastructure Microsoft Cloud, and off the top of it we have our platform as a service. And this layer we have the Microsoft 365 security and compliance. And when I said Microsoft 365 security and compliance, by default by Microsoft for your tenant, and also your custom policy, security policy for your organization. And on the top of it, we have your content stored inside SharePoint Embedded container. And the same level, we have SharePoint site, and we have OneDrive, and we have OneDrive. And on the top of it, we have the experience. It's split on two parts. We have your custom application, the application you develop inside your organization. When I say application, your Azure application, and also the application you purchase it from other organization, from ISV, for example. And of the top, on the right, we have Microsoft 365 application. So here the difference. So why split on two parts? Because your custom application for the content, for the SharePoint Embedded content, will pay for the as you go. But for the Microsoft 365 application by Microsoft, it will consume your free storage. Here we have Loop. Loop, it's Microsoft product. It's used by, developed by Microsoft. It's used by many customer tenants. When you use Loop, when you create a workspace, it will, what happened behind the scene, it will create a workspace inside SharePoint Embedded container, but it will consume your free storage. You will not pay as you go for the content. And here, what is it? SharePoint Embedded container. So it's a container, it's a dedicated partition for your application. The ID, it's like this. So I'll show you, and I have an app. I'll show you how it's look. And also, it's very important for each application, we can create up to 100,000 content. So we have your tenant, we can create many Azure application, we can associate it to your SharePoint Embedded, and for each application we can create up to 100,000 container. And to access to it, we need to use Graph API and fully integrate with Microsoft 365 application. And for each container, we can store up to 25 terabyte data. And here, when I upload a file inside my container, I have the result of this query. As you can see, we have many attributes here. So I will not focus on it. And also, we have the permissions for each for our container. Can have owner, manager, editor, reader. So anyway, if you want this talk, I'll share it with you after my presentation. Shared. So for the permission, so I'll check if I still have time. We still have time, okay? Because I will focus on demo. So for the permission for the container, it's unlike in SharePoint site. We can only add permission to our container. For SharePoint site, we can use different level of permission, and we can break this this permission. It's called break role inheritance, but we don't have this. We don't have this in SharePoint Embedded container. So also we can, for your container, we can add many custom property. It's very useful. For example, if you want to create a container for the finance department, for HR department, we can tag your container for the finance, or we can use, for example, in the real use case, many customers work on different projects. We can specify a container for a specific project, and we can map it to your container later, to your agent later. And also we have a field for your file and everything. And for the cost, we'll pay as you go for the SharePoint Embedded. So we have two types of SharePoint Embedded. We have the pay the standard version. We have the standard container type. You pay as you go for a subscription, but if you want to try it, we can try it for free for your tenant, and we can create up to 5 containers and limit it to 1 GB. When I said it's valid 30 days, so 30 days you can create your 5 containers, but after 30 days we cannot. We can use it. We can use your container, but imagine we create within the 30 day 3 containers, but after 30 days we cannot create more than 3 containers. So you need to create your 5 containers during the 30 days, but after 30 days you can still use it. As a trial version, you will not pay for the content. And also for the storage, it's called it's calculated per gigabyte per day, and also for the Graph API transaction, you will pay for it. So anyway, it will cost. It's not too much for it. We don't need license, but we pay as you go for it. But now I'll show you on Copilot Studio how to integrate or you build an agent. So I will show you in the demo. I will build an agent from scratch, and I will show you how to map it, how to interact from Teams on mobile and from Teams from your desktop. So the UI for Copilot Studio, it's like this. During 2 weeks, there is a new UI for Copilot Studio. For example, I use a French tenant. My tenant it's localized in France, so we don't. I don't have actually the new UI for Copilot Studio, but here the old UI Copilot Studio. But now there is a new UI. It's really nice and new UI. But here, when you want to build your agent with Copilot Studio, we have the option here. You create a new agent. And create, and then here I create my agent. We have many attributes. We have the overview and the knowledge. The most important for us today for this talk is the knowledge. When you click on the knowledge, we need to add. We can click add knowledge, and here we can use the link for knowledge. Here we can. Here I specify SharePoint under SharePoint, and here I paste the link to my container. And it's all the time when you have your content SharePoint Embedded, we have content storage and URL. And here we'll add it, and then you publish it. And here I'll show in demo. So we still have time. Okay. So here I will show in demo how to do it. So first of all, let's go. So here I have my SharePoint site. So I will not use SharePoint site for my knowledge. So I will go have my Copilot Studio here. So, but I will go here to my SharePoint Embedded. I have many containers here. Here it's my SharePoint admin center. In my admin center, I have a view for all my containers inside my tenants. And also designer, when you search, when you use, for example, Copilot, it will generate, when you use generate image, so it will generate a container called designer for each user in your organization. As you can see here, the publisher, Microsoft, for many container, and the application name designer loop. But here I have a custom container I created. The publisher, there is no publisher, and here, for example, I will check this container. So this container, so what I will do, so I will copy this link and I will use it later. So here I have the link to my container. So I'll keep it here, and later I will use it in my Copilot Studio. And here I'll go to my virtual machine. I have my virtual machine here. Here I have an app, so I build it. So here it's a view for all my container associated to my Azure application, SharePoint Embedded. And here, as you can see, I have all the container. For example, when I click on this container, it's called Shift Enter Summit, and I have all. As I mentioned in my presentation, I said for the SharePoint Embedded, we don't have UI. We need to build your UI to manage your file, or we can use Power Platform, Power Apps with Power Automate to manage. Here I have a simple app here, and it's UI, it's built, and here I can manage, I can add file and everything. So here I want to show you that in this container I have many files, so many Word documents. When I click on this, it will show the content for it. I can edit in Office, I can share it with many users. So all the file I stored in the container, it's called Shift Enter Summit. And the link to this container, and the link to this container, when I click on here, I have this link. Okay, now let's go to the Copilot Studio. To access to your Copilot Studio, you need copilotstudio.microsoft.com. To build an agent with Copilot Studio, we need a license for the developer to build the agent, and also we can build an agent and we can for their trial license, but we can use it, but you cannot publish your agent. So to access to Copilot Studio, you use copilotstudio.microsoft.com. And here in Power Platform, we have different environments, and go here. Sorry. And here I have on the right, I have many environments. So I'll use this default. It's my test tenant. And here on the left, agent. And here I have many agents. I use here. I will create a blank agent. So Tunisia. Sorry. Set agent Tunisia data summit. So I will here we have many settings. We can specify the language, and here is the solution and the schema. The schema is very important when you use Defender, or you can track your the objects inside your Power Platform. So you will find your agent like this and your component. And here I will create. So here I will create an agent, and I will show you how I can map it. I can map this agent to any knowledge source or data. So, okay, just wait for the agent. Okay, so here now. As you can see here, we have the knowledge, and you have many other options for your agent. So here I have my agent. So agent, when I use it like this, it will interact, will search data from online. But what we should do when you, for example, when you want only an agent to map it to many to your data source, like a container or SharePoint site, we need to disable this web search. So disable the web search. So here you are sure your agent, it will use only your knowledge, so it will not search online. For example, when I ask for something, if there is no answer from the file we have, so there is no answer, it will not search online. And here I will add the knowledge. So for the knowledge, we have many options for the knowledge for your agent. So you can specify public website, you can specify SharePoint, Azure AI Search. We can use ServiceNow for if you use requests for your incident and everything. You can use Dynamics, but for the SharePoint, and also we can upload directly your file here. So I don't advise you to upload your file directly here, because it's very difficult when you want to modify your file or move it and everything. So it's better to map your data from, for example, in this case, it's not, it's used. For example, I need to store my data inside the SharePoint Embedded container, and there is no option for SharePoint Embedded, but we can find it under SharePoint. And here, when you click here you need to paste your link to the container. So what I did, here I have a container, and for the content for it, as you can see here, I have many files stored inside this container. So when I ask my agent, it will use only the file stored here, data stored here. So go back to my agent. So I will add it. So here say add anyway, and add to agent. And for your agent, we can add as many data source, many knowledge. So here I add only one knowledge. And what I will do, I will publish my agent, and I will show you in Teams how it works. Okay. Just keep it. Okay.